Hi everyone. In previous class we have discussed about reproduction, its types, binary fusion and vegetative reproduction. This is part 2. In this we are going to discuss about sexual reproduction. Here sexual reproduction means it involves the formation of male and female gamete in same individual, that is bisexual, or different individual unisexual of opposite sex. Here in one individual, in same individual, there are both male and female gametes are present, that is we are saying bisexual. Different individual means unisexual. Here one gamete in one individual, other gamete in another individual, that is we are saying unisexual. Coming to juvenile phase, in animals, period of growth to attain maturity called juvenile phase. See here, in animals there is a period of growth that which can be attain maturity, that is juvenile phase. In plants, period of growth we are saying vegetative phase. Coming to animals, juvenile phase. Senescent phase, the end of reproductive phase called senescent phase. Here after the period of growth, the phase of reproduction, okay, here that is we are saying senescent phase. After this individual dies up. Flowering in plants, there are two types, annual plant and biannual plant. In annual plant flowering occurs only once in a year. Coming to biannual, flowers twice in a year. Examples: rice, wheat, marigold, etc. Annual means once, biannual means twice, two times flowering in a year. Here in some plants, flowering occurs several times in a particular season. Here again some plants only once in a year. Throughout the life, there are some plants that which can flowers only once and then after plant die up. Example: bamboo flowers after 50 to 100 years. Kuranji Strobilanthes kuntiana, this flowers only once in a 12 years. Here next, reproductive cycle in animals. In animals, there is reproduction based on season. Birds lay eggs only in specific season. The placental animals exhibit reproductive cycle that leads to change in ovary and hormonal level. There are some animals that which can exhibit reproduction based on hormonal changes. Okay, next, reproductive cycle, there are two types. One is ostrous cycle, next one menstrual cycle. Coming to ostrous cycle, reproductive cycle of non-primates like cow, dog, rats, etc. Here non-primates, okay, nothing but in animals like cow, dog, rats, etc. we see ostrous cycle. Menstrual cycle, reproductive cycle of primates like monkeys, apes and humans, etc. These are all comes under primates, that which can see menstrual cycle. These animals are active only in specific season, hence called seasonal breeders. Coming to menstrual cycle, these are reproductively active throughout the lifetime. Nothing but we are saying these are seasonal breeders, these are continuous breeders. See here, in ostrous cycle, these animals that which can reproduce only for certain period of time, okay, that is seasonal breeders. Coming to continuous breeders means complete throughout the life. Events in sexual reproduction. Here there are two events: pre-fertilization events and post-fertilization events. Coming to pre-fertilization events, it involves gametogenesis and gamete transfer. Here in pre-fertilization events we are seeing generation of gametes, okay, and also gamete transfer. Coming to post-fertilization events, it involves formation of zygote. Here zygote formation and production of embryo or generation of embryos, that is embryogenesis. Gametogenesis, it is process of formation of male and female haploid gamete. Genesis means generation or produce. male and female gamete. In this there are two types, homo or isogamete, heterogamete. Coming to homogamete, these are morphologically similar male and female gametes. Morphologically similar means structurally same, both male and female gametes, that is we are saying homo or isogamete. Coming to heterogamete, here these are morphologically different male and female gametes. Okay, different, that is we are saying heterogamete. Coming to anthrazoid or sperm, that is male gamete. Next, egg or ovum, that is female gamete. Next one, sexuality in organisms. Here homothallic or monoecious, next one heterothallic or dioecious. In homothallic or monoecious, in this both male and female reproductive structures are present in single individual, that is we are saying homo. In one, only in one individual there are both male and female reproductive structures are present. Homo in single means that is monoecious. In single individual there are both male and female structures present, reproductive structures are present. Heterothallic or dioecious, hetero means different, dioecious means two. In this male and female reproductive plants found in different plants. Here male reproductive part in one plant, female reproductive part in other plant, that is we are seeing two plants. Okay, two plants, two different reproductive structures, that is we are saying dioecious, that is unisexual condition. Male flower means staminate, bears only stamens. Okay, that is male flower. Coming to female flower, pistil, female flower nothing but pistil, pistillate, bears only pistil. Sexual reproduction in flowering plant. The reproductive structures of flowers, there are two reproductive structures, one is androecium, another one is gynoecium. These are reproductive structures of flower. First one, androecium. This is the male reproductive structure in androecium. This is male reproductive structure is androecium. Androecium means simply male reproductive structure. Gynoecium means simply female reproductive structure. This male reproductive structure consists of whorl of stamens, and gynoecium comes under the female reproductive structure. Here stamen, it has long slender stalk filament at the tip, contain a lobed structure. Okay, at the tip, here this is the long stalk like structure at the tip, we are seeing bilobed structure. This is we are saying anther. It contains two thecas. Okay, 1 2, see, this is two thecas, that is dithecus, separated by longitudinal groove. These two thecas are separated by longitudinal groove. Now we can see transverse section of anther. If we cut anther, okay, see here we can see four-sided microsporangia. Okay, in each tube. See, this is complete anther. If we cut four-sided, 1 2 3 4, four-sided microsporangia. This microsporangia develops into the pollen sac, in which pollen grains are present. Here these are the pollen sac in which pollen grains are present. We will discuss clearly now. Here this is the outer layer, this is the epidermis, this is the protective layer of all cells. This is the epidermis, outer protective layer of all cells. Next, coming to endodermis. Endothecium means it helps to release in this dehiscence character due to hygroscopic nature. Okay, endothecium means nothing but it has hygroscopic nature, nothing but water, the substances that which can absorb water, that is we are saying hygroscopic, water absorbable substances. Middle layer, it is formed by 3 to 4 layers of cells. Okay, middle layer, there are the 3 to 4 layers of cells we are seeing here. Next, last one, tapetum, the innermost layer of microsporangia, provide nutrition to developing microspores. Here epidermis, after this epidermis there is a fibrous layer, there is a thin fibrous layer we are saying. Next, under this there is a tapetum. This tapetum provides nutrition to the pollen grains or microspore. This which can provide nutrition to the microspore. Again pollen, these are the inside, we are seeing small seed like structure, we are saying pollen grains. So one main thing, before the pollen there is the outer one, PMC, pollen mother cell. In that pollen grains are packed.